out of an unconsciousness, we have a consciousness that is contiguous, and it is contiguous with that which is spatio-temporal. And when when we uh, when we make transparent, when the contiguous relationship with the spatio-temporal environment is is becomes transparent, then the contiguous individual, the contiguous nature of our experience uh, could find itself reawakening to its spatio-temporal environment and outlining the transparency as an ideality, that the move from the spatio-temporal contiguous experience into an ideality of something that is neither spatial nor temporal, non-spatial, non-temporal, allows for what we would call presence. And upon finding oneself in presence, one then, in their greatest panoramic view of the nowness of presence, will find a periphery, a spatio-temporal periphery, and then the margins of that periphery is a shadow. That 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 shadow, that edge of one's periphery, the margins, allow for a metaphor of that which is spatial to take place for something that is temporal. And so the division, that taking the ideality of something spatial, visual, taking not an ideal object, but taking ideality of objects itself, that ideality becomes the and the regression of that ideality, the movement from the unconscious to the conscious, becomes the area from which we employ a difference between the nowness of one's presence and that from which the nowness of the next contiguous, the next fragmented contiguity. We employ the word past and we place it there. And so it's an eclipse that is a metaphor to blinking and opening one's eyes. And so because we frame the blink, because we are capable of having an ideality of mind, to take one ideal block like a frame in film and carry it to the next frame in film. We take the spatial metaphor of something temporal and we call the discontinuity of our experience upon that placement or injection of that ideality. We call that the moment from past to present. From present to future is something akin to taking the grand panoramic view of one's presence and seeing the margins and seeing from underneath that margin a separation from the moment to the consideration of the next moment, to the intention of the absence one's words create. We see a tangential relationship between we see the shadows emerge into the presence, and we see the presence remiss itself into the unconscious. So the unconscious becomes the conscience, and the conscious becomes the unconscious. And at that edge, we employ the word future.